we're going to get started in Londonistan, England, lads. Greens win Gordon and Denton by-election, dealing blow to Keir Starmer.
Well, yes, it's an absolutely cataclysmic result.
Cataclysmic result. The HasanAbi heads, the para-socialists in the fucking UK are rising up, lads. Rising the fuck up, lads.
They've lost something like half of their support from the last general election. Less than 2 years ago, of course, have switched across to the Green Party, who've won by an absolutely stonking margin. Quite the victory lap we heard from Hannah Spencer earlier. And I think what was particularly interesting is that the issues that she was highlighting in her speech that she believes are the reasons that people have decided to switch to the Greens were about the cost of living, were about the importance of investing in the NHS and the importance of getting out there and listening to people within the constituency. But I think what it really shows in our politics is just how much the system has splintered. For so long we've had this kind of two-party focused system, whereas actually now it's the parties on the left and on the right who are really outflanking both Labour and the Conservatives in terms of popular support. And I think another piece of another stat which is quite good evidence for this, which is quite interesting, is that this is the 11th by-election in a row which has been lost by an incumbent government, which I think really does point.
Oh, this kind of thing. This makes me fucking so excited. This gets me fucking hype, bro. God damn. The Labour Party, the fucking assholes at the Labour Party. One, they crushed the Jeremy Corbyn momentum. They deliberately crushed it internally. They crushed it with the elite Jeffrey Epstein affiliated pedophiles, as a matter of fact. They deliberately did it. They destroyed the man. He still came back and Islington, Arlington North. They thought they would be able to destroy him there. He ran as an independent. He still won. And the Labour Party decided, oh, we're the new Labour. We're the right-wing Labour. We're the Blairites. Okay, we're light Tories. Keir Starmer was begging for it. Let's take a look.
If you don't like the changes that we've made, I say the door is open and you can leave.
Oh no, Keir Starmer, don't do it, lad. You mad lad, you don't say it, because they will. They'll give you a proper ass kick on a goodbye, lad. Hell. Yeah, so that's precisely what happened. People were like, bet. You. Why do you never talk about your party, the largest socialist party in the UK? Because it's embarrassing. You think I wouldn't be a major advocate for your party? Are you stupid? I like Zara Sultana. I like Corbyn. I like I like having a principled socialist party. But I don't know if you noticed it, but Corbyn himself was saying like that they're aligned with the Greens. Everything that is wrong with your party, which again, from the name itself, everything that's wrong with your party is everything that I yell about on a daily basis on the HasanAbi broadcast, bro. That's why I don't talk about it, because it hurts my heart. It hurts my soul to see the organizational up that is this party that was supposed to be what the Greens are doing right now. Like, your party's polling is disastrous, and there's a reason for it. Yeah, statement on Gordon Denton by-election. Huge congratulations to Hannah Spencer on an inspiring and well-deserved victory. Against the poisonous rhetoric of reform and the cynical do-nothing politics of Labour, Hannah showed that hope for a different world can win. Moving forward, your party will work together with the Greens as friends and allies, not opponents, which makes sense. Because, like, for me, I feel like he doesn't give a shit whether he's at your party or not. I never really covered it, and I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people are just like oblivious to what happened there. But there was a lot of there were a lot of fuck-ups in their development, and it was supposed to be this beautiful thing. It was supposed to be this actual like new party that comes in and sweeps away at the base of Labour with a prominent Labour figure like Corbyn and other former Labour figures that were cast aside from the party as the Labour Party swapped back to being a right-wing party. It was always somewhat of a right-wing party, but like, you know, the party that it became under the helmsmanship of Kid Starmer. It was a fuck up. It was a spectacular failure. They literally had tremendous infighting, and they literally aired their dirty laundry every step of the fucking way. They could not even get off the ground before they imploded, man. It's ridiculous. And I say this as someone who is a obvious major Corbyn head. I'm a huge fan of Corbyn. I think he's one of the most sincere people in politics in general. He's one of my favorite politicians. I have multiple t-shirts with his goddamn face on it. I rode hard for Corbyn, especially when everyone was like, oh, he's anti-Semitic, and I did not even give that any ground whatsoever. Zach Polanski did at the time. He has obviously evolved in his views, and I hope he has identified what caused him to feel that way and won't get duped in the future. But the reality of the matter is, like, I was there the entire way. I was there the whole way with Corbyn. So don't come to me and be like, whoa, why don't you with your party? And I like Zara Sultana too, but it's ridiculous. They had no messaging discipline whatsoever. They were so disorganized. There was so much infighting taking place, and it happened in real time. And all these people that were so excited about it literally felt like they left with a bad taste in their mouths. I'm not even attacking your party in general. Like, I wish I wanted to be good. I wanted to be good. I wanted it to be serious. Also, the name is ridiculous, but it doesn't matter. Stop covering their L's, please. Please stop covering your party. It's hurting me. I'm still heartbroken over the story. This is why I never talked about it, by the way. But chatter was like, why don't you support the only socialist party in the country? So I'm explaining to you the reason why, because it was embarrassing. And I didn't want to attack these people or criticize these people who I actually admire. That's why I didn't cover it, because it hurts. It hurts to acknowledge it. But if you ask me what it is, this is it. But Greens very clearly filled that void. They already had a little bit of motion in the past elections, and they were growing, right? They had the momentum on their side. And honestly, Zach Polanski is a awesome communicator. Let's be real. He's a podcaster, which in normal circumstances you would consider to be an L, but he's a great communicator. They're great. They have tremendous messaging discipline. They're very good on a lot of issues. They don't compromise on their values. They go in and they say, this is what we're about. And you need that. I don't care who is advancing the cause, okay? I don't give a shit what party their affiliation is. If they are centering the working class and their needs, and they're there to defend against fascism, if they're anti-fascist, I'll ride with them. I'm agnostic on this stuff. Do I wish that there was a disciplined Marxist-Leninist traditioned socialist party in the country? Absolutely. That would be fantastic, but they don't have it. So what are you supposed to do? Or the ones that kind of exist are 8 people, and their average age is 87. Anyway, long gone are the Greens of the past. Anyway, the UK Green Party is totally different. You're talking about a person who's a plumber, a socialist, anti-racist, champion of the working class. Hannah Spencer's victory speech was a banger. We are sick of hard work making other people rich. Massive blow to Starmer's genocidal Labour Party. This was an anti-Zionist, a principled anti-Zionist vote. Your party is the British reinvention of DSA. Sultana and Corbyn's feud has been very emblematic of the left-right feud in DSA. It's not bad that they're struggling this out. A line has now been set, and they can get to work as a socialist party now, hopefully. Dude, I don't care. I can't stand it, okay? You're going to have some struggles. There's going to be ideological fissures. There's going to be a lot of ideological problems internally when you're trying to build a working class movement. There are a million different traditions, and leftists love arguing over them endlessly. We should have dealt with that 100 years ago. Shut the up and just do it. Get under the broadest base of anti-capitalism you possibly can and shut the up and play ball. It's ridiculous. I don't know why there's something in my brain that cannot comprehend. I work with everybody. And people try to yell at me all the time in my chat. They go, whoa, you're talking to Obama's national security advisor, Ben Rhodes. How dare you? I guess you're an imperialist dog. And it's shut the up, okay? Shut up. You have to work with people. You have to talk to people. You have to hear where they're coming from, and you have to convince them about your values. If you don't do that, you're not going to win shit. There is this idiotic tendency on the left of being the most vicious person. If we're just doing purity spiral after purity spiral until our movement is literally stripped to the goddamn bone and there's 8 people remaining, that's when we'll actually win. No, you won't. You'll stay on the corner and you'll be ritualistically humiliated over and over again, and you will never win power for the working class. You will never actually achieve socialism. You will never organize. Weird. Marxist-Leninists and trot organizations are generally not effective, but neoliberals will grind us under heel, and we need to more effectively counter that in electoralist efforts. Yes. Secret agent Starmer destroying the party from the inside. It's difficult because he is so odious and nasty, but we must now hope Starmer stays as long as possible. He's quite literally voter repellent, and he's permanently dismantling the awful Labour Party the longer he stays, which is necessary historical task. Yes, for many, many years, I would have absolutely said this is the wrong approach. You got to fix the Labour Party from within. But now that there are alternatives out there with viability, fucking kill it. Fucking kill it. The good ones will come to whichever party you're at. When you build the movement, they will come. It's over. Let him stay. I hope he stays in power for as long as he can, because guess what? There's a secret weapon that's not so secret out there. There are going to be more elections. And when that election time comes around, when Starmer is still leading the party, you can hang the Mendelsohn case around his neck like a goddamn anchor and destroy what remains of the hope that exists within the fucking Labour Party. There are more elections coming up in the month of May. And when that happens, and if Starmer is still seen as the leader of the party, which a lot of the people I think within the Labour Party are looking at the situation and thinking, ooh, maybe I can take over because he is a unprecedentedly unpopular leader, with the exception of Liz Truss. Liz Truss is the only other prime minister who's been as unpopular as Keir Starmer, and she is like a record breaker, right? Like we know she was so bad that like her reign could not outlive a fucking cabbage, a head of cabbage, right? So let him stay in charge, and then when the moment is most opportune, you hang the Mendelsohn situation around his goddamn neck, you wrap that anchor around him, and you let him sink the entire party. This was Starmer's first interview post by election. This man is completely delusional. Labor is truly in a death spiral. Good. Burn it with fire.
It is very easy for other parties to identify the grievance. That's the easy bit. The hard yards is providing the solution and turning the country around to improve the lives of millions of people. That is the mission. That is what we had a mandate to do, and that's what I'm laser focused on.
Okay, that doesn't sound like anything will change. Can you explain, because I genuinely don't understand it, why you ran such a bizarre campaign in Gordon and Denton? The whole by-election was about Labour beating Reform, but you were beaten by the Greens. Was it all just too clever by half, or were you just a bit squeamish about taking on another progressive left-wing party?
The entire Labour Party, the entire movement came together to fight a positive campaign about bringing our communities and our country together. And we were fighting two parties, Reform on the right with their politics of hatred and division, the Greens on the left.
Bro, shut this shit down. I literally cannot deal with this shit. No. Come on, man. This is a moment of glory. Sit in it. Bask in it. Let your nuts hang. Let them breathe a little bit. Let the boys breathe. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's disastrous, but it's a disaster of his own making. And I'll be honest, you know me, maybe I'm a little too restrained as opposed to some of my other friends in this movement that will constantly talk about agitating for a third party. I'm not Mr. Third Party by any means, especially given the history of labor. I always, if you were to ask me 2 years ago, if you were to ask me a year ago, do you think there's viability in like restoring labor into a true left flank party, a true working class party? I would have said absolutely. But I've also told you, if you build it, I will come. And they're building it. In the UK, they have a parliamentary system, so it's a little bit different, even if there is like, the parliamentary system designs coalitions that are identical to the duopoly that we have here in the United States of America. Obviously, this gives a lot more room for third parties coming in and actually rising into power. We don't have that in the United States of America. The system is a little bit different, but this is fantastic. This is unimaginably exciting. David Graeber predicted this, by the way, in 2020 before he passed. David Graeber made a warning about Keir Starmer in 2020. They did not listen. The Labour Party under Starmer will abandon its core idealism and principles, and it won't even gain a tactical advantage. It will be a party which gives nobody a reason to vote for it, and nobody will, in fact, vote for it. I mean, I've said this as well. Shouts out to David Graeber. Rest in power. But that's it. That's it. You could have seen this coming from a mile away. Many of you yelled at me. Many of you yelled at me. You were like, Hasan, why can't we be excited? Why can't we be excited about the Labour Party? Well, there's plenty of room for excitement in the Labour Party and its demise.
We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flag, the fight for the gospel alive. We are Charlie Kirk. It's good.
Okay, that's too much.
With their politics of getting out of NATO in the middle of the conflict with Ukraine, of legalizing all drugs, including heroin and crack cocaine.
Keep crying, bozo! Keep crying, bitch! Kid starver, don't you got kids to starve? Hey, kid starver, why don't you go prosecute more Palestine action protesters, bitch? Fuck you! Oh, the immediate formation of a left flank party viability automatically causes the center-right neoliberals to instantly become reactionary monsters. Oh, they want to legalize all drugs. Oh, I do declare, sir. Oh, do you want heroin addicts all over the streets? Is that what you would like? That's what you will get with the Green Party. Fuck you. Up yours, kid starver. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Anyway.
It is in our country together. And we were fighting two parties, reform on the right with their politics of hatred and division, the Greens on the left with their politics of getting out of NATO in the middle of the conflict with Ukraine.
No! Getting out of NATO! In the middle of conflict with Russia. No!
Legalizing all drugs, including
Legalizing
heroin
all drugs.
and crack cocaine to give to adults. They are the extremes in politics. They can identify the grievances. It's only Labour that can unite the country and communities, and only Labour that's rolling up its...
Bitch, you can't even unite your base. You can't unite shit. The only thing you're uniting is Jeffrey Epstein and their besties. That's what you're uniting. Oh, you're uniting everybody and hating you too. That's another one. Oh, God.
We had an excellent candidate in this by-election, and every single person who went campaigning. And I thank the candidate, and I thank every single person who went campaigning.
This Sky News journalist would be the hero of the night if he turned around and said, what's the candidate's name?
Campaigning for their positivity, and that we had an excellent candidate.
If he just turned around and said, what's your candidate's name? Because he does not know. He does not know. That's why I'm saying we have an excellent candidate. We have an excellent candidate. And the candidate, whose gender I cannot recall at this moment, was excellent. The Democrats should be so excited. Looking at this, the Democrats should be so stoked that Zohran Mamdani is a Democrat, AOC is a Democrat, Bernie caucuses with the Democrats, and is like trying to build a Bernie-crat wing within the Democratic Party. They should be so stoked. They should be begging on their hands and knees, going to the left flank candidates and being like, can we please help you? How can we help you? How? What can we do for you today? That's what they should be doing, except they are not. And the reason why they are not is because they're exactly like this dickhead. Chuck Schumer and Keir Starmer are basically the same guy. Their attitude is the same. Their worldview is the same. They are unironically oblivious to what the is going on in the real world and how angry and resentful average working class people are to the duopoly and to specifically the establishment Democrats. The only momentum is not on the Abigail Spanberger side of the party. The only real populist momentum is on the side of people like Zohran Mamdani. They will do everything they can. They will work with AIPAC. They will work with Palantir. They will flood the primaries to ensure that their shitty business as usual establishment candidates still maintain control over the party because they're fearful that if they lose out, if they lose the influence within the ranks of the party to the likes of Zohran Mamdani, all of a sudden their donors are going to get really mad. All of a sudden they're not going to have those seats anymore. They need to step the out of the way.
Have an interim prime minister at the moment. How long that interim is will be up to the Parliamentary Labour Party. He will not be here for very long. He does not deserve to be here much longer. But
MP, bro. Labour MP Clive Lewis. That's one of his MPs, bro.
But it's for other people in the PLP, not just myself, to decide when that is. At the moment, if it went tomorrow, the only person I could see benefiting would be the Secretary of State for Health, Wes Streeting. And frankly, that would be more of the same. He's an acolyte of Peter Mandelson. There is no point electing Wes Streeting as our leader if that were to take place, because it would be more of the same. We need a radical reset, fundamental change, or we will have a reform government. And I'm afraid my colleagues and the rest of the party need to understand that. What I think has enabled this to happen is the fact that we have basically systemically burned our base. We've chased after mythical voters.
Sound familiar? One senior Labour Party member described the resignation of Labour councillors in response to the party's position on Gaza as shaking off the fleas. This approach has broadly characterized Labour's approach to the dissenting views it has attributed en masse to a cranky left. But it seems increasingly risky when a high-octane political event galvanizes people across a demographic profile that is too large to be so easily dismissed. Suleika, another voter lost to Labour in the past 2 weeks, tells me of an atmosphere in her local area in Hackney where people are identifying with the Palestine issue through different intersections as it draws in Greens, feminists, and a broader liberal coalition. Meanwhile, polling reveals a political establishment dramatically at odds with the country as a whole, in which 76% are in support of a ceasefire. That's a lot of fleas. Ah! It's hard. It's hard not to it's hard to just watch your decade-long theory in action destroy this major plank, this political institution that has been the only hope for the working class for years and years. Watch that movement kill itself in real time to appeal to a mythical moderate voter that does not exist in the exact same ways that the Democratic Party has been doing for years and years and years. It's hard. It's hard not to look at the situation and go, fuck you. You did this to yourself. You literally aligned with elite pedophiles specifically to defend Israel over and over again, specifically to defend the interests of capital over and over again. You built this house of shit. Now live in it, dude. Now live in it. Jesus Christ. I mean, look, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Okay, I'll be honest with you, but you don't have an idea about the realities of British politics. My favorite, give it to me. This is exactly what I kept hearing. This is exactly what I kept hearing from all the Labour defenders after Keir Starmer's predictable victory. Oh, give it to me. Come on. Go ahead. Right now, in this moment, coming to my broadcast and telling me I was wrong. Excellent. Multiple chef's kisses. Please, go ahead. Go ahead. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, you don't understand. The average British gammon despises immigrants, and there's no way out of this other than a massive purge of people who are considered non-white in the country, right? We have to be more like the EDL to win elections, right? That's what you're going to tell me, right? We got to defend England. You don't understand, bruv. I'm not racist personally, but there's many racists that we need to win votes with. Many of the Labour strongholds have lost to reform for a reason, and it's not because they've abandoned the working class. They've abandoned the social safety nets, and they've become not even just a Blairite version of the party, but a Thatcherite version of the party in the conservative, in the Labour movement. But the only way to fucking win them back is by saying we're going to be the ones who purge the migrants. We're going to be the ones who burn the boats, yeah? Defend England! Defend England! I'm not a Labour defender, but there's certainly a large number of moderate UK voters who stand in the centre. It's not as black and white. Fuck you! Oh! Yeah? Why are the Lib Dems not cleaning up? Yeah, I mean, of course you're Scottish. Of course. The cops of the British Empire. Classic. Epigenetic memories unlocked all of a sudden. He's like, whoa, I've got to defend the British Empire. Cop, dude. Yeah? If everyone is demanding a moderate approach to politics, why the are the Lib Dems not winning every election? Every previous election, if they're demanding a moderate and tolerant approach to the immigration issue, the Hillary Clintonian approach, where it's like, we'll actually be the ones who are deporting the migrants. Please vote for us. Why the is Labour losing? They're doing just that. How the did they lose to a party run by a gay Jewish podcaster? How did that happen? Perhaps it's because of what he's saying. How'd that happen? And it's brilliant because they try so goddamn hard to hit him with the, oh, you're anti-Semitic and you're anti-Semitic. Zach Polanski is Jewish. Can't get him on that. Now what do you got in the tool belt? Oh, he's too radical. Well, seems like people like that. It's so funny that people are just like still doing this thing in the aftermath of a clear-cut, resounding defeat for moving to the mythical moderate center. Like that lost last night, that lost. And you're still over here being like, no, my good sir, you don't understand. I do declare what the people want is reasonable, moderate politics. It's just that true neoliberalism hasn't been tried, my good sir. We must not just be Blairites in the Labour Party. We must be now the Conservative Party. We must become the Tories under Thatcher. This is the only way to win. True neoliberalism hasn't been tried, my good sir. Yes, we will do it ourselves. Great, dude. Keep hemorrhaging. Keep hemorrhaging your fucking constituencies. Keep hemorrhaging your base. You destroyed the party. I literally vote Lib Dem. Look up Orkney constituency. I'm not defending anyone, but rather just pointing out the reality of UK politics. Hey, notice how you fucking told me that I don't know enough about British politics or know nothing about British politics, and I clocked who you vote for? How'd that happen if I'm so oblivious? I'm an American. I'm a dumb American Yankee. How the did I smell the pivot to the center narratives coming from your Lib Dem ass, barely sentient, the barely existing party? Oh, you don't understand. There's real momentum in the moderate side of things. And I will tell you why there's real momentum. If you noticed, the Lib Dems actually gained votes in this last election cycle. It shows that there's real movement in the center. I know he's Scottish. I can't do the Scottish accent that well, so I'm just going to keep using the posh British accent. What is this? Sitting backwards in a chair? You know, there was another Green Party the leader that delivered for ordinary citizens and rejected both liberalism and conservatism.
Of all of Africa's many charismatic post-colonial leaders, there is perhaps no one quite as mysterious as the late Muammar Gaddafi.
It's true. He wrote a whole book, a green one. At least until very recently, Canadian Greens was just a cult of cranks around one MP. I would be genuinely surprised if it changed for the better, but one can hope. I think so. At least I feel like there's changes happening all around us. Like I said, or not I said, like Gramsci said, the old world is dying and a new world struggles to be born from its ashes. Now is the time for monsters, but also now is the time for organizing. Okay. And I think a lot of people are taking advantage. They're finally seizing the moment. They're finally seizing the opportunity. And they're doing their very best. I will try to do my very best, as should you, to make sure that this necessary change happens both in this country and in every country that you live in. Okay. Now is the time of monsters. Sorry. For f***'s sake, you always butcher it. Shut up.
I am no different to every single person here in this constituency. I work hard. That is what we do. Except things have changed a lot over the last few decades, because working hard used to get you something. It got you a house, a nice life, holidays. It got you somewhere. But now, working hard, what does that get you? Because talk to anyone here and they will tell you. The people who work hard but can't put food on the table, can't get their kids' school uniforms, can't put their heating on, can't live off the pension.
See how she said, I work hard and not, I'm stupid and can't read? Yeah, it's weird. She should have tried being like, I'm a dummy. I don't know how to read. I'm illiterate. Just like you, the stupids. Vote for me, which is a vote for the stupids. You know, just like Gavin Newsom. Confusing why she's not doing that and doing this instead, which seems to be a much better, much more unifying message. Odd.
Because life has changed. Instead of working for a nice life, we're working to line the pockets of billionaires. We are being bled dry. And I don't think it's extreme or radical to think working hard should get you a nice life.
Ooh!
And I don't think that if you're not able to work, that you should still have a nice life. I think that absolutely everybody should get a nice life. And clearly, I'm not the only person who thinks that.
I don't understand why is she not talking about the moderate mythical centrist voter that she clearly captivated with her modical mythical centrist approach. Why is she not talking about burning the boats? I don't get it. It's obviously an incredibly important plank in her campaign, right? Like when she says we're going to kill the migrants, we're going to arm the working class of England, the gammons, the small business owners, with weapons, with the blunderbuss, so they can shoot directly at the boats coming over. It's odd that she doesn't center the true interest of the working class, which is a principled defense of the Zionist entity. I don't get it at all. Why has she not talked about capping welfare for people who want to have more children, for example? It's just like reasonable austerity that is an absolute necessity. Where is all of that in her message? Why is she winning by centering the working class? That creates surplus labor value for the capital owners. Why is she doing this? I'm scared.
People in their thousands told me on the doorsteps and at the ballot box that what we are sick of is being let down and looked down on, that we are sick of our hard work making other people rich. I lived in this constituency at one of the most difficult and...
Our hard work making other people rich, by the way, is a perfectly sanitized way to talk class politics in a way that people can comprehend, in a way that people can understand. What she's saying there is literally the exploitation that exists within capitalism. What she is talking about directly is the extraction of surplus labor value. She doesn't use those terms. She uses language that is palatable, language that is appealing to the working class, that is a uniting language and the perfect way to approach the subject matter. Okay?
Challenging periods of my life. I saw how strong the community was at holding things together, but I saw how much harder life is when the things around you are broken. The litter, the fly tipping, the dirty air. And when I moved, it became even clearer. And this is why I am fighting for the community that I lived in and that I still work in. Because I absolutely refuse to accept that we should ever have to move and leave our communities for good schools, a thriving high street and clean air. And I will not accept a society where having more money gets you a longer life expectancy. To people here in Gorton and Denton who feel left behind and isolated, I see you and I will fight for you. Because whilst our communities may sometimes be labelled in different ways, the thing everyone seems to have underestimated here, especially over the last few weeks, is how similar we all actually are. How we have common ground, how we get along, how we stand up for each other. The cracks that were starting to show can be healed. And I believe that it is through offering people hope and a chance to do things differently and do things better. Now, to my customers, I'm sorry, but I think I might have to cancel the work that you had booked in because I'm heading to Parliament. And when I get there, I will...
She's giving Gen Z Vivienne Westwood a new look and sounds so joyful every time she speaks. Don't get caught up in the appeals or caught up in like aesthetic appeals. Sorry. She's great. This is a perfect speech. And it captures the very essence of everything that we fight for here. It's awesome. Why has she not talked about how illiterate she is and how we need to drop pronouns and be and we need to stop. We need to do away with this nonsense, like, you know, defending trans people and stuff like that. Like, it was just bullshit. I thought England was an island filled to the brim with TERFs. How could anybody win any election whatsoever without issuing concessions to the unlimited amount of transphobia? It just doesn't make sense. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it at all. It's worth remembering that this was the result in Gorton Denton 19 months ago. In 2019, the notional result for the Green Party in this seat was only 2.5%. If the Greens win, and even if they come close, it represents an astonishing shift that could be replicated in loads of seats. Well, they did. Who's the Nick Shirley of the UK? Tommy Robinson, Yaxley Lennon. who is somehow just as stupid as Nick Shirley and just as compromised by the exact same forces and the same exact countries, as a matter of fact, like Israel. Yeah. Mr. England first. We must defend England. Oi, oi. We got to defend England, which is why we got to talk about I need to defend England, which is why I'm an agent of Israel now. And America.
We ran a hopeful campaign backed by thousands of volunteers and activists. We defeated the parties of billionaire donors.
There is universality in our politics. Just as though there is an international fascist movement, there is an international socialist movement as well. If you notice, all of the things that she's talking about, the forces that she had to overcome, whether it be establishment neoliberals on the supposed left flank parties like Labour, or whether it be reactionary racists on the right like Reform, notice how she had to overcome all of those different forces, billionaires. It's because we are all in this struggle together. The same exact forces that constantly set and constantly create setback after setback that get in the way of a true left flank candidate that centers the working class exists in the United States of America. It exists in England. It exists everywhere in Western liberal capitalist nations. Socialism has always been a movement that feeds off of international working class solidarity. This is not to say like, oh, socialism in one country can't be attempted or tried or exist or whatever. I'm not saying like, permanent international revolution here. I'm simply stating that this movement exists everywhere because the class struggle is identical when it's stripped away of its, local needs and local interests. It's still the same exact forces of pressure. It's the same exact forces that are trying to actively destabilize the working class.
We don't have to accept being turned against each other at all. And we did this with the people who live here, side by side, shoulder to shoulder, just as we have always done in this constituency and in the whole of Greater Manchester. Because this is Manchester, and we do things differently here. Thank you so much to everybody. Thank you.
So
here's the Matt Goodwin shitter.
Unifying.
Remember when Matt Goodwin said, I want a national unifying politics, which was Britain first, not Pakistan, not Gaza, not any other foreign policy thing. Britain first. And he was asked, not Israel. Remember, we watched this.
A national unifying politics, which puts Britain first, not Pakistan, not Gaza, not any other foreign policy thing. Britain first.
Not Israel?
What? You what, sir? Listen, this can change, okay? I think the momentum is behind the Greens.